Hello, friends. Uh, I'm back with one more interactive session actually. So today I thought of doing something different because everything is locked down because of coronavirus. And from Learner Zone, I wanted to do some interview session. I wanted to take some valuable inputs from my friends who can add value to your life. I thought of sharing something literally different today. Okay. So myself and Abhinav, we both are a part of a group called Mind Curators. It's a coaching group actually. We are a group of 6 as of now, and we are looking for like-minded people to collaborate and contribute in the society. Okay. So looking at that bigger vision, I thought of sharing some of the knowledge of Abhinav with respect to how to write a book because he has already published his book and I too want to publish a book. So I wanted to check with him, I wanted to discuss with him about how can I go about writing a book and all. But again, I thought, why not discuss it online? Why not? This discussion can help all of you guys. Okay? Hi, Abhinav.
Yeah, hi, Vinesh.
How are you doing in this quarantine time?
Lockdown periods, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm listening to people. A lot of WhatsApp messages come, Telegram messages come that I'm getting bored, and then I don't have time to get bored. I'm already working on my second book, which is publishing next month. So It's very difficult to say that I'm getting bored. Or how can someone be getting bored? So I can't understand that.
Oh,
what do you?
Okay. If you talk about me, as you already know that I have already quit my job and I have opened up my digital marketing agency and yesterday only I have completed my first batch of interns. So I started teaching internship. I started taking internship program for digital marketing aspirants, and that too I'm doing in a Kannada language because many Kannada medium students would be willing to learn that particular domain, but just because of the fear of English or just because of fear of unknown, they always feel reluctant. That's why I'm trying to bring it to the best level possible. I think whoever wants to learn it, so I want to contribute in that level also. That's why I'm trying to take that particular session in Kannada.
Right. That's very challenging, yeah. So you mentioned that you want to write a book.
Yeah, definitely.
What is one thing stopping you from starting writing a book?
That's a very interesting question, actually. I wanted to start writing my book right from the January itself. But as I said, I quit my job and I got busy in building my business. And I have also published my online course. So keeping all that particular thing in mind, I'm getting busy with one or the other thing. So I'm not able to start somewhere. If I start something, then definitely the ball will be rolling.
Not for too long.
Yeah, the difficult part in doing something is starting it. So I need to overcome that obstacle first.
Yeah, so when you will start writing a book, there will be some basic challenges which we all face while starting to write a book. One of them is we think why I should spend my time on that.
Okay.
A lot of people ask themselves that why I should write a book. What it will solve, what it will give me, why I should write. A lot of people are writing books every day. A lot of books are published every day. Why should I spend my time? Why should be yet another writer?
Right.
So what is your mind psychology behind that? Why do you want to write a book? What do you think? Why one should write?
Okay. So I want to write a book because of 2-3 reasons actually. Okay. One, I have a writing habit. Second, I want to make it reachable to each and every person. Okay, whatever I want to communicate, somebody would be having a hobby of reading, somebody would be having a hobby of listening. As you know, I've already started making a lot of videos, but having said that, all of the people, all the students would not be willing to watch out the videos. Somebody would be, those people who are having a reading habits, they would definitely love to read something. So whatever the knowledge I have with respect to the career and relationship, that I want to put it on the paper and give it to those people who wants to read and understand. And when somebody reads something, then they actually involve themselves into that. And that's what connects me with them. That's what I thought. Can you please put some lights on this?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, you are right. You're very right. Technically, you are right. I will tell you the how we start becoming more. What is it? How we expand our horizon when you start writing a book. So
Okay.
everyone of us walk with the stories. We are built of stories. You know,
Correct.
like house made of bricks. We are built of stories. Stories makes us what we are today. When you expose your stories to other persons, say for example any reader who is going to read your book, then you expose your vulnerability, what your insecurities are. And that is the best way to connect to a reader. There are so many people who follow so many authors, they have never met them, but they can relate to their stories. Why?
True.
Because once upon a time, one guy started writing, he became an author, and he started telling his stories, and people are relating. That's how movies are. People, if
Correct.
you can relate to a movie, you love that movie. If you do not relate, you don't know what the hell why a movie is going all about. So I think that's the main thing which pushed me to write. You know, I can connect with not many people by writing and sharing my stories.
Okay.
So that is like that is a very debatable thing. Everyone has a different reasons. Some people want to write about technical books. You know, some people want to write about how to read, how to start habit of reading. Some people want to write about health. Some people write about their stories. But everyone who has been starting to write, they have a reason. They have a story. No, without that, no one will start writing.
Okay. Great, Avi, but can you please help me with few things? Actually, I wanted to understand from you. If I have to start writing my book, what are the things that I need to consider first? What I should be ready with? What are those checklists I should have prior I start writing? So that once I start, I don't want to stop it. So can you
Right.
please help me
Okay,
with that?
so there are two things when you're starting. First, you have to decide you are writing it to make money, or you are writing to spread knowledge or tell about yourself. Because
Okay.
when you decide to write about money, because you want to make money, you will pick
Mm-hmm.
hot topics. You will not pick your story. You will pick
Okay.
hot topics. They probably could be anything. It could be how to start reading books, or could be how to make easy money, or
Mm-hmm.
what great habits you can build in your free time. Could be anything hot topic, you know, which like
Okay. Okay.
which sells fast. That is one thing. But if you do not worry about money part, how much money I will make, or will I be ever be a bestseller, then what you do is you start writing your personal stories, your personal life, what you have learned, what you don't want others to do, what which in which you failed. So there are two things you have decided in the very beginning, because a lot of people I know personally they start but they can't finish it. It's just because they lose their discipline, they lose their dedication. And why? Because they're confused. Shall I write to make money, or shall I write to educate or raise the wisdom of audience? That is the first thing I would say to anybody author.
Okay, so if I want to summarize it, then I need to be very, very clear with the purpose why I want to write.
Clarity, yes.
Yeah,
That's very
once I'm clear with the purpose, then I can curate my context of writing accordingly. Am I
that's
right?
true. That's right. That's right. And that will keep you driving to write. You know, otherwise people stop. They write few chapters and they stop. Not
Okay,
because they don't want to write. They still want to write, but they have lost the focus. Now
true,
they are
true.
thinking about writing not for people, for money probably. That is
Hmm.
something very clarity has to be there right from the beginning. That's what I think.
Having a purpose of writing a book is something like, okay, having a end goal in mind so that we can start from somewhere, but till we reach to that purpose, at least we'll keep writing. And
That's
that's a very valid point what you have shared just now. So that itself can, okay, it has cleared my doubt actually. Okay, thanks a lot for sharing this particular valuable insight. Now, I just want to understand one more fact here. How does it add value to one's life? And how did you feel after everybody started calling you as a writer? How did you feel when you have launched your book? How did you feel when you have shared your story with the people around? What was your state of mind that time?
Yeah, well, I became more popular. Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of people know me. I get a lot of messages on Instagram, Facebook. We saw about your book. I want to buy. Where I can buy. So
Great.
actually, it makes you very popular. And later, how I say it, it will stay even I will die. So it is something I can tell to my grandparents. I can tell to my son. That I wrote a book. We all like, although it's a very easy thing to start writing a book and may write a book, not everyone writes it. It's very easy. Not everyone does it. So tomorrow my son will come and I will tell him that I wrote a book, and he will tell his friends that my dad is an author, dad is an author. So it's a very proud feeling. So I do it mostly for the feelings, how it makes me feel in front of in my
Yeah.
society and as a person. And also it allows me to tell people my stories, and which gives them freedom to write their own stories as well.
Okay. That's really great, Abhi. These are all the things which we have discussed are with respect to the emotional part of writing. Okay. If I want to ask you about the technicalities of writing a book, then okay, if somebody is lacking in terms of vocabulary, if somebody is lacking in terms of technicality of writing, so how they can get over it? From whom they can seek the help?
Okay. So if you rewind this interview, you will see my English is very bad. I'm grammatically incorrect a lot of times. So what I did is I made a team. What I do is I do raw writing. I just write bunch of chapters and I will send it to my team. I have the team who grammar proof. Yeah.
Okay.
And then once the grammar proofing is done, it comes back to me. And then there is an editor who edits and see, okay, this chapter has to be there. There's so many things. You have around 9 chapters. You have to decide which chapter has to come first and have to add acknowledgement, preface. And then there's one more person who does the graphic designing for me, who designs the cover pages for me. And that's it. So you start your thing first, and then you keep ask people for favors. Sometimes you pay them, sometimes you don't pay them. And that's how you build a team. But the main motivation has to come from you. Your manuscript, it is called manuscript when you write your raw chapters, it has to be ready. Then you can give it to people and you can make a team. So alone, you cannot start writing first chapter and publish it. It definitely needs a team. And team is built on the way. When I started writing, I was alone. I was writing alone. And then slowly with time, I made a team. And then now we are like a team. We are doing book and book and book. That's how. So start is always alone. But
Okay.
then with the journey, as you go ahead, you keep making team members, start making team.
That's really nice. That's a cool idea actually. Okay. If we have a team, that's fair enough. What if for the people who are socially isolated? There are so many people who have a lot of content in their mind, who have lot of ideas to write something upon, but they are socially isolated. So, if I ask you this question, approximately how much it would cost for a person to get it done if he has to pay to it, if she has to buy it from the service providers? Approximately how much does it cost for getting all the technical stuffs done?
Okay. So first of all, coming back to the question, when you are socially isolated, that's not technically correct in today's world.
Okay.
If you think you are socially isolated, then I think you have to just log into so many social platforms and start making connections.
Okay.
Now, that is easy part. You can just start making friends whom you want help with. Second part about the money. I think you can publish a book with zero investment. My first book came with zero investment. So the first book I sold, I made profit. So I do not think it could be an excuse for anyone to not start writing, that I am socially isolated or I don't have finances, because
Abhi, it's not about only about being socially isolated. I'm talking about the introvert and extrovert. You being an extrovert person, you reach out to every people. I being an extrovert, I don't fear to reach out to people, ask for help and something like that. But every human being is different. So everybody has their own constraints. So there are people who are really reluctant to ask help. Okay, everybody asking for a help is the most daring work I feel. Okay, people usually feel like, okay, if I ask for a help, then uh, my image will go down. But I don't think so. But
Yeah.
everybody doesn't understand this. I'm asking, I'm asking this question, keeping that kind of person in my mind. Okay.
Okay. I think I understand you because I was the same person once upon a time.
Okay.
So if you look at the behind the psychology, if you are thinking of writing a book, it means you want to tell something to people you already know. That's correct. Now, if you are in that mode of mind where you are thinking to tell about you or something which you know to people, then I don't think you are someone who won't ask for help at the first place. Because
Okay.
if you are ready to share your ideas with people, then it means you are socially comfortable with people around you. Even if you don't know anyone, you can dare to ask them for help. So if a person is really close-minded, he cannot ask anyone, then at the first place, he might not think of writing a book. He will just write few blocks, put it under his pillow, and sleep on that. that's what I think. I
Okay.
think how it will be working.
So overall, the another friend of mine who has already published his book, when I was talking to him, he just mentioned that hardly it may cost around 30 to 35,000 rupees for publishing a book if we offload everything. Okay. So as Abhinav has explained, reaching out to people nowadays has become really, really easy. Unlike the last few years. Nowadays, social media is very, very active. There are so many groups wherein you can add on yourself, be a part of that group, take participation in the conversation, start contributing in others' lives so that you come out of that particular web of uncomfortableness. You'll start feeling easy when you start interacting with people, when people will start thanking you for your contribution. And then you'll open up a lot of doors for yourself. And that gives a lot of power. And that's what Abhinav is talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
So overall, Abhinav, it was really a very useful interaction, and we have discussed about very important points. So just to summarize all these things, if you guys are planning to write any book, then be clear with your purpose first thing. Be clear about why you are writing it. Either are you writing it for the sake of money, or you are writing it for the sake of sharing your knowledge or yourself. Once you are clear with that, you become unstoppable. If you don't have the end goal in mind, then you'll always run out of the content, right?
That's
So
right.
that's quite natural. Okay. So finally, if you are an introvert person, then start joining to the social groups, start interacting with people. If you feel like by asking help, your image will go down, then try to help somebody else. You'll start feeling good about it. And then the person whom you are helping will automatically come for your help. Right,
That's,
Abhi?
that's, that's very well said. Yeah, yeah. I never thought about it. It makes sense. Because you
Okay,
have to,
Abhi.
at some point, you have to build a habit of asking favors. Because that actually builds a connection. If I'm asking you a favor, it means somewhere I trust you as a person that I can ask you for a favor. So you have to see as like a test to check trust between friends. I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
True, true. The universe is like that only. When you seek for it, you'll get it. When you ask for it, people will definitely give it.
Yeah, actually, there's a short story. I saw it on Facebook, not my story. There's a barber who was accusing God that you're not nowhere to be found. So people are dying, so people are so poor. And then this guy was getting his hair trimmed, and he goes out and he see a beggar with a very long hair. And then he says, "There's no barber in the world." This barber gets offended, like, "I'm here." Then he says, "Then why that poor guy has long hair?" Then Baba said, "He didn't come to me. He didn't ask me for help." Just like that, until you go for the help, it's not going to come back to you. It's not going to come.
True, true, true. Yeah. It was really a nice story and very, very relevant to what we have discussed till now.
Actually, yeah.
Anyways, it was really a very interesting interaction what we had,
Yeah.
and definitely, I hope. No, and definitely I'll start writing my book. I don't hope now. The time has gone, so
Yeah.
that I'm yet to start, but definitely I'll start it soon. And I have a clarity about why I want to write a book. Because as I said, I want to contribute back to the society. And having that clarity in my mind, definitely I will not stop until and unless I finish that book for sure.
And
So
also you need to have a, sorry to cut you, also you need to have a dedication and discipline. If you say I want to finish this many pages by weekend, you have to. If you lose that discipline dedication, it will just keep lagging and then months will
true,
take
true, true,
years to
true.
finish the book.
Right. Thank you, Abhinav. Thanks for your time. Thanks for the valuable inputs. So have a great day. Be safe. Take care.
You do, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye bye.